Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear brothers and sisters, today I want to speak to you about a moment that many people fear, but few truly understand. A moment when the phone stops ringing, when people walk away, when support disappears, when expectations collapse, when you realize that the world is no longer holding you up, and in that moment you discover something deeper, something more powerful. You discover that Allah is all you have. And wallahi, that is not a loss. That is a divine awakening. Let us reflect together. 1. When everyone leaves, Allah is revealing the truth. My dear brothers and sisters, understand this deeply and calmly, because this lesson carries a lot of healing. Sometimes in life, Allah removes people from your path, not because you did something wrong, not because you are unworthy, and not because you failed. He removes them because their role in your life has ended. What you see as loss, Allah sees as protection. What feels like abandonment is often Allah's mercy unfolding quietly. You may have believed that certain people were your strength. You leaned on their words, their presence, their support. You thought, as long as they are with me, I will be okay. But Allah, in His wisdom, allows those supports to fall away so you can discover something far greater, that your true strength never came from people, it came from Allah alone. People were only tools. Allah was always the source. When people leave, it hurts because we attach our hearts too tightly to creation. We expect consistency from those who are themselves struggling, changing, and limited. Humans promise today and forget tomorrow. Humans stand with you when it is easy and disappear when it becomes heavy. Allah allows this to happen not to break you, but to wake you up. He wants you to stop placing your heart where it was never meant to rest permanently. My dear brothers and sisters, when promises are broken and loyalty fades, do not rush to say, why me? Instead ask, what is Allah teaching me? Very often, Allah is teaching you detachment, not coldness, not hatred, but healthy detachment. He is teaching you to love people without worshipping them, to appreciate them without depending on them, and to walk with them without building your entire emotional world around them. Human beings are temporary. Their emotions change, their strength weakens, their understanding is incomplete. Even the best people can disappoint you, not because they are evil, but because they are human. Allah, however, is not temporary. Allah does not change. Allah does not forget. Allah does not misunderstand you. He knows your intention, your pain, your silent struggles, and your hidden tears. Even when you are surrounded by silence, Allah is fully aware of you. When Allah removes people from your life, clarity begins to form. You start seeing who was sincere and who was seasonal. You start understanding why certain doors closed. You realize how much emotional energy you were spending to keep others comfortable while neglecting your own relationship with Allah. And that clarity, my dear brothers and sisters, is a gift. It brings you back to your Lord with humility, sincerity, and awareness. Do not chase those who walked away. Do not beg for what Allah Himself removed. If Allah allowed them to leave, trust that their absence is better for your soul than their presence ever was. Sometimes Allah takes people out of your life so that He can take a bigger place in your heart. And wallahi, when Allah becomes closer to you, nothing truly valuable is ever lost. Remember this. If everyone leaves but Allah remains, you have not lost. You have been redirected. And whoever is redirected toward Allah is never truly deprived. 2. When Allah is all you have, your reliance becomes pure. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a powerful shift that happens in the heart when you reach a point where Allah is all you have. At first, it feels frightening. You feel exposed. You feel unsupported. You feel like there is nothing left to lean on. But slowly, something remarkable happens. Your reliance becomes pure. You stop relying on people as your safety net, your emotional crutch, or your guarantee. And you begin relying on Allah with sincerity you never had before. Before this stage, many of us say we trust Allah, but our hearts are still tied to people. We trust Allah and someone's promise. We depend on Allah and someone's support. We feel calm as long as a human being reassures us. But Allah wants something deeper for you. He wants your heart to rely on Him alone, without conditions, without backup plans that replace tawakkul. When Allah removes people from your life, He is not leaving you empty-handed. He is inviting you to lean fully on Him. And that reliance changes the way you pray. Your du'as become more honest. You stop using fancy words and start speaking from your pain. You stop asking Allah casually and begin asking Him with urgency, humility, and complete dependence. That kind of dua is powerful. That kind of dua is answered in ways you may not expect, but always in ways that benefit you. My dear brothers and sisters, pure reliance on Allah teaches you patience. When people were around, you expected quick solutions, immediate responses, instant comfort. But when Allah is all you have, you learn to wait, not with anger, but with trust. You begin to understand that Allah's timing is not delayed, it is precise. What feels late to you is arriving at the exact moment your soul is ready to carry it. You also learn something very important. Peace does not come from control. Peace comes from surrender. When you rely on people, you are constantly afraid of losing them. When you rely on circumstances, you panic when they change. But when you rely on Allah, your heart becomes steady even when everything around you is unstable, because you are holding on to the one who never collapses. This stage also teaches you strength, not loud strength, not aggressive strength, quiet strength. The strength to stand alone without bitterness, the strength to move forward without resentment, the strength to trust Allah even when you do not understand the outcome. A person who relies fully on Allah may look alone on the outside, but inside they are deeply supported. My dear brothers and sisters, do not underestimate what Allah is building inside you when He becomes all you have. He is teaching you to walk without leaning, to breathe without panic, and to live without fear of people leaving. Because once your heart learns to rely on Allah alone, no human absence can break you again. And remember this, reliance on Allah never disappoints. People may fail you, plans may collapse, doors may close, but the one who places their trust fully in Allah will always find a door opening somewhere, even if it opens inside the heart first. 3. When Allah is all you have, your dignity and self-worth are restored. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the quiet harms of relying too much on people is that without realizing it, you begin to measure your worth through them. Their attention makes you feel valued. Their approval makes you feel confident. Their absence makes you feel small. This is why losing people hurts so deeply, not only because they are gone, but because part of your identity was attached to how they treated you. Allah allows this stage in your life to restore your dignity. When Allah becomes all you have, He gently pulls your heart away from seeking validation from creation. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You no longer beg to be understood. You no longer exhaust yourself trying to prove that you are good enough, sincere enough, or worthy enough. Why? Because you finally realize that the one who created you already knows your value. My dear brothers and sisters, dignity does not come from being liked by people. It does not come from being praised, chosen, or included. True dignity comes from knowing that Allah sees you even when people overlook you. Allah knows your intention. Even when people misunderstand your actions, Allah values your effort, even when no one thanks you for it. And that knowledge gives the heart a quiet confidence that no criticism can destroy. When Allah is all you have, you stop chasing people who do not choose you. You stop lowering your standards just to keep someone close. You stop tolerating disrespect just to avoid being alone. This is not arrogance. This is self-respect guided by faith. You begin to understand that it is better to walk alone with Allah than to walk with people who make you lose yourself. This stage also teaches you emotional maturity. You learn to respond instead of react. You learn to stay calm instead of defensive. You learn to remain kind without being weak. Because when your worth is anchored in Allah, people's opinions lose their power over your emotions. Praise no longer inflates you, and criticism no longer crushes you. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah restores your dignity by reminding you who you belong to. You are a servant of Allah, not a servant of people's expectations. Your value does not rise and fall with human behavior. It is steady because it is connected to the most merciful. And wallahi, when a person reaches this level, they walk differently. They speak gently but firmly. They stand peacefully without needing to dominate. They are not desperate to be seen because they are already seen by Allah. That is dignity, that is strength. That is what happens when Allah becomes all you have. 4. When Allah is all you have, hardship turns into a private connection with Him. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a stage in life that only those who have been broken truly understand. It is the stage where pain no longer pushes you away from Allah but pulls you closer to Him. When Allah is all you have, hardship no longer feels like meaningless suffering. It becomes a private conversation between you and your Lord, a silent connection that no one else can see or fully understand. Before this stage, many people complain during hardship. They ask, why is this happening to me? They look around for someone to blame. They wait for people to rescue them. But when Allah becomes all you have, your response changes. Instead of running to creation, you run to the Creator. Instead of shouting your pain to the world, you whisper it to Allah, and that whisper carries more weight than 1,000 words spoken to people. My dear brothers and sisters, hardship strips you of pride. It removes the illusion of control. It humbles the heart in a way comfort never can. When you are weak, you finally stop pretending to be strong. When you are exhausted, you stop acting self-sufficient. And in that honesty, Allah draws near to you, not because He was ever far, but because you finally turn to Him fully. When Allah is all you have, your prayer changes. You are no longer praying out of habit. You are praying because your heart needs it to survive. Your sujood becomes longer. Your tears become sincere. Your words become simple and real. You are not trying to impress Allah with eloquence. You are speaking to Him as a servant who knows there is nowhere else to go. And Allah loves that state of humility. My dear brothers and sisters, understand this clearly. Allah does not waste pain. Every hardship that brings you closer to Him is a gift, even if it does not feel like one at the moment. Through difficulty, Allah cleans the heart. He removes arrogance, attachment, and false reliance. He replaces them with patience, trust, and inner strength. This is why some of the strongest believers were shaped by the hardest trials. When you have no one but Allah, you begin to feel a strange kind of peace even in the middle of struggle. Not because the problem is gone, but because your heart is no longer alone. You realize that Allah sees your nights, your silent battles, and your effort to remain patient. That awareness itself becomes a source of comfort. My dear brothers and sisters, never underestimate what Allah is doing for you during hardship. If He has brought you to a place where He is all you have, then know that He is building a bond with you that comfort and ease could never create. And that bond will stay with you long after the hardship has passed. 5. When Allah is all you have, you discover a strength you never knew you had. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a kind of strength that only appears when everything else has fallen away. It is not the strength of the body, and it is not the confidence that comes from success or support. It is a quiet, deep strength that rises from reliance on Allah alone. When Allah is all you have, you begin to discover that you were never as weak as you thought. You were simply leaning on the wrong things. Many people believe strength comes from having options, people to call, doors to knock on, places to escape to. But when those options disappear, Allah reveals something powerful inside you. You learn to stand without applause. You learn to move forward without reassurance. You learn to breathe through pain without collapsing. This strength does not make you hard, it makes you steady. It does not make you proud, it makes you grounded. My dear brothers and sisters, this strength is born in moments of fear. When you wake up unsure about tomorrow, when your heart feels heavy, when the future looks unclear, and yet you still choose to trust Allah, something solid forms inside you. You begin to realize that Allah has been carrying you through every stage of your life, even when you did not notice it. And once you see that, fear slowly loses its grip. When Allah is all you have, you stop expecting ease from life and start expecting support from Allah. This changes how you face problems. You no longer panic when plans fall apart. You no longer crumble when things go wrong. You may still feel pain, yes, but you do not lose yourself in it. you tell your heart, Allah is aware, Allah is in control, Allah will not abandon me. And that belief steadies you like an anchor in a storm. This stage also teaches you emotional discipline. You learn not to react impulsively to loss or disappointment. You learn to pause, reflect, and respond with wisdom. Not because you feel strong all the time, but because you know where your strength comes from. You learn that crying to Allah is not weakness. Asking Allah for help is not desperation. It is courage. The courage to admit that you cannot do this alone. My dear brothers and sisters, when Allah becomes all you have, you also stop being afraid of being alone. Solitude no longer terrifies you. Silence no longer feels empty. You begin to understand that being alone with Allah is not loneliness. It is companionship at the highest level. And from that companionship comes resilience. You walk through life knowing that even if everyone misunderstands you, even if support disappears, even if the road becomes difficult, Allah is with you. This strength is not loud. It does not announce itself. It shows itself in patience, in restraint, in the ability to keep going quietly when no one is watching. It shows itself in choosing what is right even when it is hard. It shows itself in trusting Allah's plan even when you do not yet see the outcome. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah builds the strongest servants in the most silent ways. If today you feel like Allah is all you have, do not fear that reality. Embrace it, because Allah is not leaving you empty. He is filling you with a strength that no human being can ever take away. 6. When Allah is all you have, you realize you were never truly alone. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest fears in the human heart is the fear of being alone. We fear silence. We fear emptiness. We fear nights where no one checks on us and days where no one asks how we are doing. But when Allah becomes all you have, this fear slowly dissolves, because you begin to understand a truth that changes everything. You were never truly alone to begin with. Loneliness hurts most when we believe that no one sees us, no one hears us, and no one cares. But Allah sees you when no one notices. Allah hears you when your voice breaks in the middle of a silent dua. Allah cares about your struggles even when you do not have the strength to explain them. When people walk away, Allah does not step back. He steps closer. My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes Allah creates silence around you so you can finally hear Him. When the noise of people fades, when the distractions disappear, when your heart has nowhere else to turn, Allah becomes your companion. You begin to talk to Him more honestly. You begin to sit with Him longer. You begin to feel comfort in moments where you once felt fear. And that is when you realize that companionship with Allah is deeper than any human connection. When Allah is all you have, you start noticing His presence in small things. In the calm after prayer, in the relief that comes after crying, in the strength you feel after trusting Him through something difficult. You may still be physically alone, but your heart feels supported. You may still walk your journey by yourself, but you are not walking without guidance. My dear brothers and sisters, people can leave you emotionally empty even when they are physically present. And Allah can fill your heart even when you are physically alone. This is why some people feel lonely in crowds, while others feel peaceful in solitude. The difference is not people, the difference is connection with Allah. At this stage, you also learn something beautiful. You stop demanding constant attention from others. You stop feeling invisible. You stop feeling forgotten. Because you know that Allah is aware of every detail of your life. You know that your efforts are recorded. Your patience is seen. Your struggles are not wasted. That awareness creates a calm confidence that does not depend on anyone else. My dear brothers and sisters, when Allah is all you have, nights no longer scare you. You sit quietly with your thoughts, knowing that Allah understands even what you cannot explain. You begin to enjoy moments of stillness, because they bring you closer to Him. Solitude becomes a place of healing, not punishment. Silence becomes a space for reflection, not emptiness. Never let shaitan convince you that being alone means being abandoned. If Allah is with you, then you are supported in the most powerful way possible. If Allah is guiding you, then no step you take is wasted. If Allah is listening to you, then no tear falls unnoticed. Remember this, my dear brothers and sisters. People may forget you, but Allah never does. People may misunderstand you, but Allah knows your intention. People may walk away, but Allah remains. And when Allah remains, you are never truly alone. 7. When Allah is all you have, your life gains meaning beyond this world. My dear brothers and sisters, when you reach the point where Allah is all you have, something very profound happens inside you. Life no longer feels random. Your pain no longer feels pointless. Your struggles no longer feel wasted. You begin to see your life through a different lens, not only as a journey of this world, but as a path leading toward Allah and the hereafter. Before this stage, many people measure their life by worldly success, by how many people support them, how much they are admired, how comfortable their life feels, or how smoothly things are going. But when Allah becomes all you have, your definition of success changes. You stop asking how much do I have and start asking how close am I to Allah. Nawdal al-ani hisola yumatadallah. And that question brings a peace the world can never offer. My dear brothers and sisters, when people were your focus, disappointment was constant. When expectations were placed on creation, frustration followed. But when Allah becomes your focus, even loss begins to make sense. You realize that Allah is not preparing you only for comfort in this dunya, but for strength, patience and reward in the akhirah. And suddenly your hardships feel lighter because they are no longer meaningless, they are purposeful. At this stage, your actions gain sincerity. You no longer do good to be seen. You no longer worship to impress. You worship because your heart knows that Allah is watching. Your prayers are no longer rushed. Your patience is no longer forced. Your obedience is no longer conditional. You do what pleases Allah even when no one is clapping for you, because you are no longer living for people, you are living for Him. My dear brothers and sisters, when Allah is all you have, you stop feeling empty inside. Even if your life is simple, your heart feels full. Even if your journey is quiet, your soul feels alive. You begin to understand that contentment does not come from having everything, but from trusting the one who controls everything. And that trust brings a deep inner stability that cannot be shaken by loss or change. This stage also teaches you hope, real hope, not the kind that depends on circumstances, but the kind that depends on Allah's mercy. Even when doors close, you trust that Allah knows why. Even when answers are delayed, you believe that Allah's wisdom is greater than your understanding. Even when the future feels uncertain, your heart remains calm because it is tied to the most merciful. My dear brothers and sisters, the person who has Allah has everything, even if they appear to have nothing. And the one who loses Allah has nothing, even if the world is in their hands. When Allah is all you have, your life becomes aligned with purpose. Your patience becomes meaningful. Your endurance becomes worship. Your journey becomes a testimony of trust. So if today you feel stripped of people, support or certainty, do not despair. Perhaps Allah is elevating you. Perhaps He is simplifying your life so your heart can finally focus on what truly matters. Perhaps He is calling you closer in a way that comfort never could. Hold firmly to Allah, my dear brothers and sisters. Walk with Him even when the path feels lonely. Trust Him even when the road is unclear. Because when Allah is all you have, you are never poor, never lost, and never defeated. May Allah make us among those who rely on Him fully, find peace in His presence, and live lives filled with purpose and faith. Ameen. My dear brothers and sisters, if there is one truth I want you to leave with today, it is this. When Allah is all you have already been given everything you truly need. What felt like loss was not the end. What felt like loneliness was not abandonment. What felt like weakness was actually Allah rebuilding you from the inside out. There was a time when you depended on people, when your heart felt safe, only if someone stood beside you. But Allah, in His mercy, showed you that people come and go, circumstances rise and fall, and the world changes without warning. Yet through all of it, Allah remained. He watched your patience. He heard your silent du'as. He saw your tears when no one else did, and He never turned away. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah does not strip you of people to break you. He does it to free you from false attachments, free you from